Hey, Coach Scott here. Um, I like to do interviews with clients that have been really successful and let them tell their story. And the client that I'm interviewing today, just to be honest, if somebody backed me into the corner and said, "What one client are you most proud of?" It would definitely be the lady that we're talking to today, not only for what she was able to accomplish, but the reason that she did it. You want to talk about somebody that put in the work and did it for the absolute most noble reason. That's why I wanted to share this story. Now, I'll jump ahead just a little bit and let y'all know why she is not on camera. And we have her name listed as Sue. That is not her name. She actually did this for someone else. And the person that she did it for is an extremely private person and don't want everybody knowing all of their business. So she's going to kind of stay anonymous here. But it is such a wonderful story. I just wanted to share it with everybody and let y'all know that it's never too late. And if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. So, with that, Sue, um, what we're going to call you today. If you don't mind, just kind of let's start off with the reason that you wanted to go on this journey to begin with.
Okay, well, good morning. Thank you for the intro. That was very touching. Um, the journey that I've had has been 7 years, 6 years in the making. The journey has been between me and my husband. In 2018, he was diagnosed with stage 5 kidney disease, and that was a huge shocker for us. He had undiagnosed high blood pressure. He stayed in the hospital for over a week. He had 3 mini strokes. It was definitely a scary week, and we changed our lifestyle as a result of that. We, low sodium, blood work quarterly. I mean, we completely changed our lifestyles. And we always knew that if he got a really bad virus, that it could send his kidneys over the edge and he would have to go on dialysis. And believe it or not, he's had COVID twice. It didn't send him over the edge, but he got a different viral infection in November of 24, and it sent his kidneys over the edge. And he started dialysis in January of 25. As a result of that, he was asked to get on the kidney donor list for the state of Texas. And what we've discovered in our early journey of the donor part is that in the state of Texas, to get a cadaver kidney is a 5 to 7 year wait. And he honestly didn't have 5 to 7 years to wait for a kidney because he would have been on dialysis that entire time. And that was just not something for my husband, who is an athlete, is a gardener, is an outdoor guy, can't sit still for more than 10 minutes. It just was not an option to wait that long for a kidney. So the other option we had was a living donor. And at that time, we did a lot of soul searching. We did not ask anyone in our family. We did not ask anyone in our circle of friends if they would even consider being a living donor for him. I made that decision. I was going to be his living donor.
Okay, now I want
So,
everybody to understand something here.
mhm.
Has anybody talked to you about the odds of a wife being a match for her husband?
It's interesting that you're bringing that up. When we started this journey, we had no idea if I would be a match. And with medicine the way it is now, Had I not been a match, he would have still taken anti rejection medications. But believe it or not, out of the 10 genetic markers that they look at, 6 of them are the most important for a recipient to get a donor from a living donor. We matched 4 out of the 6. And our coordinators both, and even the medical board, were could not believe. They said it's almost like you guys are siblings. You are such a close match. They couldn't believe how much, of a match that I was for him. And considering our relationship, because we're yin and yang, even though we're best friends, it didn't surprise us at all. So,
So
and we
at
just
this
found,
point, your
yeah.
husband needs a kidney. We find out that
Mhm.
beyond all odds, you're the perfect match.
We just
But
found out that I was the perfect match only about a month ago when they did the cross typing. But once I started going through the testing, there were certain goals that I had to meet. I started testing in May of last year. I started going through all the testing. And when I tell you I know more about my body now than I ever have in my entire 64 years of my life, I do. I have donated over 132 vials of blood. I've had PET scans, EKGs, heart ultrasounds, colonoscopies. I mean, you name it, I've had it done. The only thing that hasn't been touched is probably my brain. That's it. Um, the one goal that I had to do, period, was I had to lose weight. And that's what brought me on my journey to working with you and helping me meet that goal. Um,
so
and that
basically, the
started.
doctor said that for you to be able to go through the surgery, you had a certain amount of weight you had to lose. So how much weight did you have to lose, and what was the time frame that he gave you to do that?
So originally, the the time frame was 60 days. We were trying to get him into surgery in 60 days, which would have put us at one in January. I had to lose 30 pounds, period. And I started at 226. No, I'm sorry, 216 according to my records. And I had to get to 198. I have exceeded that goal with your help. And fortunately, I met that goal in that first 30 days because of the instructions you gave me, how you helped me, the support that you gave me. It was actually easier than I actually thought it was going to be working with you. So that was a tremendous help because it was one less stress factor that I had to think about because you were giving me the tools I needed to get on this journey. And, one of the things I kept talking to you about was, I'm too old to do this. I'm too old to lose this much weight. And you were like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're, just do the things that we're going to talk about and it'll be easy. And
And
you were
that
right.
that's a common thing that comes up. I mean, and I don't want to offend anybody. It happens with everybody, but particularly
Mhm.
women that
Oh,
they're postmenopausal
mhm.
and they're of the opinion that I'm postmenopausal. It doesn't matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to lose weight.
Oh, and that was definitely my mentality. Absolutely my mentality. You know, pet, past menopause, past childbearing, you know, just didn't think I could do it. But with your help and changes in my, additional changes in my lifestyle, I actually exceeded that goal.
So, how much
And
weight have you lost up to this point?
up to this point, I am down 42 pounds
You know,
since
there's
November,
something,
since you and I started in November
and today is June 12th.
12th. Yep. Yeah.
And
And
you,
mhm.
you told me something else here a while back. You said you were getting pretty close to the smallest that you have ever been.
I am 30 pounds away from where I was in my 30s.
So you
And
told me
I'm,
the other day that once the surgery is done and you've
mhm,
recovered,
mhm.
just kind of let everybody know, are you done with this or do you want to keep going?
Oh, no, heck no, I'm not done. Are you kidding? I'm down, 3 dress sizes, 3 pant sizes, 2 shirt sizes. No, I'm going to keep going. I just have to recover, his surgeries in a couple of weeks. I have about, for me, it's not as invasive as the surgery is going to be for him, so my recovery time's not as long. But no, I will get back on the program and I will keep going.
You said something a while ago that I really want to drive home for everybody that's considering maybe going on a journey like this. You said that it wasn't as hard as you thought it was going to be.
Correct.
So, just so everybody knows, you, if you don't understand how the process works, you get in your head right now that, well, I'm busy. I don't have time. I can't pour everything into this and drop my life to do this. How much time per day and how hard were the changes that you had to make to lose that 44 pounds?
Honestly, the hardest thing for me, because I am not an exercise person. I am not an athlete like my husband. When I said yin and yang, I am the indoor chick and he's the outdoor guy. Uh, I bought a treadmill. I get on my treadmill for 30 minutes to an hour on a daily basis. I actually do it during my lunch hour. Um, I put a book on, I listen to a book. It's that part was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. So I would say realistically, from an exercise standpoint, that's it for me. That's all I do is get on my treadmill. Now I do walk around because I'm still working. When I'm on a call, if I'm not on a video call, I walk around my house with my phone in my hand so I can at least get extra steps in throughout the day. And I do have a timer that I've set. So I get up, every 45 minutes to an hour and I walk around my home because I'm home office. So I'll walk around and get some extra steps in. So it was not as hard as I actually thought it was going to be. It really is not.
So a couple of points here I'll make sure everybody catches. You're 64, but you're still working full time.
Correct.
So it didn't interfere with your job at all.
No, not at all.
And and I want to make something else clear for everybody too. I know the answer, but I want them to hear it from you. You talk about getting on your treadmill for 30 to 45 minutes.
Hmm.
How fast do I have you running how many miles every day?
I'm up to 2 miles. Um, I have it on the 20 incline. And I'm sorry, I don't remember how fast I'm going, but it's pretty fast.
But the point is it's not running.
Oh, no, no, it's not running at all. It's just walking fast. And where we live, it's hot and it's humid. And I don't like to be hot. So I have my fans on me and I'm on my treadmill and I'm as happy as can be. And I never, ever in my entire life thought I would say that.
All right, we talked about the exercise portion of it.
Mhm.
Here's the other thing that everybody has in their mind that they have to do that is not true. What is your hunger levels every day, and what has the nutrition been like?
The hunger levels, the food noise is gone based on the protocol that you have me on. The only I've never been a big eat sweets person, so I don't have to worry about that. The only thing that I really had to change, because we had already changed our lifestyle anyway, low sodium, fresh fruits, vegetables. I increased my protein, which you and I talked about. I did not understand that increasing my protein was actually a benefit to helping me lose that extra, you know, extra weight that I wanted to keep going. So for us, or for me, adding the protein was really the only dietary change that I had to make. Oh,
So
and
you
I
start
did
eating
add
a little bit
protein
more
water.
protein. You start
Yep.
eating a little bit more protein. You're not.
I added I added protein water. I drink protein water. I bought the Fruit Punch NutriBio. I don't know if I was supposed to say brands or not, but anyway, I have that in the morning, and then I switch to my water, and I have water for the rest of the day. I don't drink sodas. I never have. I'm a water person. So water's never been an issue for me getting that in. But I did increase, the protein, and that made the huge difference.
So I want to kind of break down everything here just so everybody just kind of has a look at the entire picture. You're 64 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You're postmenopausal.
Mm-hmm.
You did not start spending 2 to 3 hours a day in the gym.
No.
You don't have uncontrollable hunger. We really didn't eliminate anything from your diet. It was easier than you thought it would be. And so much so that once you recover from the surgery, you're going to go right back to it.
Absolutely. That is all correct.
That is such an encouragement to the people that may be watching this because there's such a
I hope
misconception
so.
out there that you have to uproot your life, spend hours in the gym, do some crazy diet.
No.
This entire process, if you do it right, the only regret you'll have is that you didn't start it years before.
Yeah. And the one thing that I would like, those who are listening to know is for me, by doing this, um, my cholesterol has been lowered, so I don't have to take that medication anymore. My A1C was borderline. It is no longer borderline because we had to get, I had to have new blood work done. Um, all of my numbers that were quote abnormal are now normal. And it was all because of the weight loss journey that I've been on.
So let's look at one other thing real quick. We talked about what you're doing. We talked about the weight you lost. We've talked about the blood work getting tremendously better.
Hmm.
What changes have you seen to energy levels, brain fog, um, just overall well-being? Have you noticed a significant difference in those?
I feel better for sure. My knees do not hurt anymore without the extra weight. The protocol that I'm on has actually helped my knees feel better. Unfortunately, that's genetic for me. I sleep better at night. My sleep is much better. My energy is, I feel like I'm back in my 40s again because I've lost that extra weight. Brain fog, I don't have any brain fog. Um, I feel so much better. And honestly, if I was not donating a kidney to my husband, I still I still would go on this journey with your help because I feel so much better.
So we need to go ahead and start wrapping this up. Everybody doesn't have all day to listen to this story, no matter how incredible it is. But before we end this, I just want to give you an opportunity to say anything that you want to say, any encouragement that you have for anybody. Um, just kind of get the last say here before we end the call.
I think what I would say is for anyone who thinks that they can't, because I was that person, you can. And while I had a reason to do this, and that is, to donate my kidney to my husband so that he can continue living with us and being with us, do it for yourself more than anything else. And it's totally worth the journey. And it was so much easier, especially with your support, Scott. It was so much easier than I thought it was going to be.
Well, I appreciate it. But like I have told you before, you're the one that did the work. And the results you have is 100% around your consistency and being able to get up every day and keep your eye on the ball. And I've worked with tons of clients. I've got people all over the country that have had success stories. But the fact that you did this essentially to save your husband's life and to put in that work and to do what needed to be done is just something, like I said at the beginning of this call. If anybody asks me what one client are you most proud of, it is definitely you. Not only for
Oh,
what you've done, but for the reason that you did it. It is incredibly selfless, and I could not be prouder of you.
oh, thank you.
All right, so that is our interview with Sue. If you would like to be a one-on-one client, there'll be a link in the description to learn how to do that. But Tier 1 also has an entire ecosystem, and you can start with joining our completely free community to get into it, kind of see how we do things, and then choose what path is right for you, whether it's one-on-one coaching or whether it's our online course where you pay one time and have lifetime access to take the program at your own pace. But I would be honored to help anybody else that is in the current, the same type of situation as Sue was, or if you just want to feel better, sleep better, have more energy, Tier 1 would be honored to work with you too. So until our next video, thanks for joining us and keep digging.